Last night, Donald Trump delivered an electrifying speech to Congress, one that was truly inspiring, brimming with joy, enthusiasm, and a bold vision for America's future. His words were filled with energy, warmth, and a unifying spirit. But, as expected, the Democrats seized the moment not to uplift, but to further alienate themselves from the American people. While Trump used this opportunity to connect with the nation and lay out a bright and promising future, the Democrats resorted to their usual performative antics, once again revealing just how shameless and disgraceful they can be. Now, before we dive in, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. But first, let's start with my absolute favorite part of Trump's speech, his closing remarks. Get ready for chills. Take a look.
This will be our greatest era. With God's help, over the next 4 years, we are going to lead this nation even higher, and we are going to forge the freest, most advanced, most dynamic, and most dominant civilization ever to exist on the face of this earth. We are going to create the highest quality of life, build the safest and wealthiest and healthiest and most vital communities anywhere in the world. We are going to conquer the vast frontiers of science, and we are going to lead humanity into space and plant the American flag on the planet Mars and even far beyond. And through it all, we are going to rediscover the unstoppable power of the American spirit. And we are going to renew unlimited promise of the American dream. Every single day, we will stand up and we will fight, fight, fight for the country our citizens believe in and for the country our people deserve. My fellow Americans, get ready for an incredible future, because the golden age of America has only just begun. It will be like nothing that has ever been seen before. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless America.
Like any strong leader, Donald Trump has a clear and bold vision for America's future, one that he delivered with such conviction and passion that it resonated deeply. He spoke of a nation filled with prosperity, health and innovation, a future of groundbreaking advancements in science and medicine, national security, and unwavering pride in America. And this message was critical, because every time opposing politicians engage in performative protests against Trump, the American people can see for themselves what they are resisting. Trump outlined a future of strength and opportunity, one that reaches across party lines. Meanwhile, his critics, offering no alternative vision, continue to focus on opposition rather than solutions. Rather than presenting clear policies or strategies, they seem to be fixated on resisting everything Trump does. Meanwhile, Trump countered negativity with optimism, while his opponents resorted to partisan tactics that left many questioning their leadership. But the most disheartening moment of the night, when some members of Congress refused to stand and celebrate a 13-year-old brain cancer survivor, whom Donald Trump had just honored as an honorary Secret Service member.
I am asking our new Secret Service Director, Sean Curran, to officially make you an agent of the United States Secret Service.
This young man's story is truly inspiring. 13-year-old DJ Daniel first gained attention a few years ago after being mocked for wearing a police officer's uniform, but that moment of hardship turned into something incredible. He has since been honoured by hundreds of police departments across the country. Last night, Donald Trump wanted to do something truly special for him, offering him one of the highest honours in recognition of his bravery and perseverance. And you would think that a moment like this, a celebration of a child, a cancer survivor, would unite everyone regardless of politics. These are the moments that define our shared humanity, reminding us of the power of compassion and resilience. But instead of joining in the celebration, some chose to remain silent. And if that wasn't disappointing enough, an MSNBC reporter reacted in a way that many found deeply inappropriate, making a statement on live television that no reasonable person should say about a child. Watch this.
But I think this was a lesson in finding one thing that you let yourself feel. And I let myself feel joy about DJ, and I hope he's alive for another, 95 years, right? And I hope he lives and the life he wants to live. He wants to be a cop. He knows what he wants to do. And maybe when you have childhood cancer, that crystallizes for you. And I hope he has a long life as a law enforcement officer. But I hope he never has to defend the United States Capitol against Donald Trump's supporters. And if he does, I hope he isn't one of the 6 who loses his life to suicide. And I hope he isn't one who has to testify against the people who carried out acts of seditious conspiracy and then live to see Donald Trump pardon those people.
Now, just imagine being so fixated on partisanship that 4 years later, some are still clinging to January 6th, twisting reality to somehow connect it to the dreams of a 13-year-old who simply wants to serve his country as a police officer. Imagine being so politically driven that you turn an uplifting moment into controversy. Instead of celebrating a young boy's aspirations, you use it for political talking points. That kind of mindset is deeply concerning, but let's focus on something truly uplifting, because DJ Daniel deserves to be celebrated. And just to show you how special this moment was, here he is today in the Oval Office, sharing a heartfelt hug with Donald Trump.
What a good-looking family, huh?
There's one more thing I got for you, a big hug.
Okay, good. That's very nice. Look at that family you got, huh?
Yes, sir.
Very nice. How are you? Nice to see you. Nice to see you. That was a big evening last night, right?
Yes, it was.
That was a big evening.
As DJ, it is such an honor to have met you.
Hold up, I got one more thing to say.
He has one more thing to say. I won't interrupt you.
If you're a Democrat and you're being mean to President Trump, I'm on your bumper.
This young man has a strong spirit and a great sense of humour, but partisan politics has become so deeply divisive that some refuse to acknowledge even the most positive moments simply because of who is leading them. When we see children facing difficult challenges, we believe in supporting them, encouraging them, and helping them thrive, no matter what. Yet, in today's political climate, too many moments of unity are lost in division. This pattern extends beyond just children. Some leaders claim to advocate for women's rights, yet when a woman holds a different viewpoint, they are often subjected to harsh criticism and personal attacks. For example, some refused to applaud when Trump announced protections for women's sports. And when the mother and sister of a courageous young woman were honoured, there was silence instead of support. Watch this.
Last year, I told Laken's grieving parents that we would ensure their daughter would not have died in vain. That's why the very first bill I signed into law as your 47th president mandates the detention of all dangerous criminal aliens who threaten public safety. It's a very strong, powerful act.
This is the same political group that preaches inclusivity, but only when people align with their views. They talk about compassion, yet in moments where they could stand together and honour those who have suffered, they refuse. Trump's speech offered countless opportunities for unity, moments where leaders could have put aside their differences and demonstrated empathy for families in mourning, for those seeking safety, and for a vision of a stronger, more prosperous America. But what did they choose to stand and cheer for, funding overseas conflicts while refusing to acknowledge critical domestic issues? And Trump, never missing an opportunity to expose their priorities, pointed it out, even adding a light-hearted remark about Elizabeth Warren.
With no end in sight, the United States has sent hundreds of billions of dollars to support Ukraine's defense. With no security, with no anything. Do you want to keep it going for another 5 years? Yeah, you would say Pocahontas says yes. $2,000 people are being killed every single week. More than that.
One of the biggest missteps of the night was a theatrical stunt, holding up signs with words like liar and false. Instead of making a meaningful statement, it became a moment of ridicule, even among their own supporters and media outlets. Even Senator John Fetterman, known for his candid remarks, called it out, saying it was an embarrassing move that only made Trump look more composed and presidential. And when MSNBC criticizes a political stunt from their own side, you know it didn't go as planned.
Thank you, Simone.
Can we talk about it?
The bingo signs were killing me. I don't know who thought up the bingo signs, but they should be fired.
Michael, this is an indictment, in my opinion, on the Democratic leadership. I talked to a lot of members they was texting. The staff were on my phones and they were calling. And I think the best way to describe it is the Democratic leadership said they didn't want disruptions and they wanted people to attend and bring a guest and they wanted, little business as usual, and we're fighting back in other ways. There is a palpable disgust, as Claire said, from not just the members but their constituents. And it's like a pot, as someone described it to me, that's boiling and it's about to bubble over. If you do not allow the members a space to release valve, it's going to bubble over. And the visuals are not taking back the House in 2026. Not these visuals. Where's the signs? Put the signs up, folks,
The dry erase board with different messages.
Oh my gosh,
you don't think
crazy.
that's...
Put the paddles up, y'all.
When even mainstream voices criticize a political stunt, it backfired badly. Rather than looking principled, it came off as petty and divisive. Instead of showing a willingness to work together, it reinforced a message of opposition for the sake of opposition. And Trump took full advantage of the moment, making it clear, if you want to be the resistance, that's your choice. But the American people deserve to know exactly what you're resisting. And then, the biggest scene of the night, Congressman Al Green, who had to be escorted out after he refused to stop his disruptive protesting. Watch what happened.
Finding that members continue to engage in willful and concerted disruption of proper decorum, the chair now directs the Sergeant-at-Arms to restore order. Remove this gentleman from the chamber.
Al Green's antics were just another embarrassing display of how fractured and rattled the Democrat Party has become. Even their own leadership, like Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer, wanted nothing to do with it. They reportedly advised against the bingo card stunt and warned against turning the night into a big fiasco of protests. Now, if Al Green had actually taken charge and led a unified walkout, with every single Democrat in Congress following him, it might have at least been a moment. But instead, it was just another failed attempt at resistance. The Democrats want to resist, yet they don't even know how to do it effectively. They're not just petty, they're bad at being petty. And while Al Green probably thought he was pulling off some epic fight the power moment, reality hit hard. CNN ran a live poll in real time as it happened, and a staggering 80% of Americans disapproved of his actions.
During the course of the event, which is wanting to get reaction on Congressman Al Green's antics and being ejected, 80% of speech watchers said that the Democratic congressman's interrupting of Trump's speech was inappropriate. Only 20% of speech watchers thought what Green did was appropriate, Aaron.
Once again, the Democrats are deliberately choosing the most unpopular stance on every major issue, making themselves as out of touch and off-putting as possible to the American people. Meanwhile, polls were rolling in, showing an overwhelming majority of Americans loved Donald Trump's speech. They liked what he had to say, felt optimistic about the future, and approved of the job he's doing. And yet, the Democrats refuse to listen. Why? Because they're not serving the people. They're in full-blown self-preservation mode. The money laundering and corruption schemes they've been benefiting from are finally being exposed, and their own survival is far more important to them than the actual needs and desires of their constituents. They haven't presented a real plan. They haven't proposed which departments in the federal government should be cut, where spending could be reduced, or how to eliminate waste. They want it all to continue, and that alone is a damning indictment of their complicity in fraud and corruption. The only thing they stand for is Ukraine. They don't stand for women. They don't stand for children. They don't stand for America. They only stand for themselves and their political power, and Donald Trump is the single biggest threat to that. That's why they are anti-Trump, and all these shameless, embarrassing stunts are only going to make the Democrat brand even more irreparably toxic than it already is. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. If you enjoyed Trump's epic speech last night, be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a video. I'll see you guys in the next one.